You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
From the Canandaigua Academy, the Varsity Media Sports Network proudly welcomes you to tonight's Class A championship game. As fans still coming in, we can see cars still coming in, and that team is ready here. The Braves of Canandaigua, undefeated on the season, the second seed, taking on 5-1, the fourth seed, the Eagles of East. Good evening, everyone. Gene Battaglia with you. Proud to be bringing this game as the Braves running out in unison. Happy to be joined once again by Brighton head coach Steve Leon. Welcome back, Steve, and appreciate you stopping by here. As far as tonight's matchup here, two contrasting styles, would you not say? You have Canandaigua running the ball, playing sound defense, and what we saw last week from East in there, I don't know if you can call it an upset over Canandaigua, but certainly they showed their great ability in that game too.
A ton of explosive athletes from East. It's going to be great to see. Canandaigua is the best open field tackling team I've ever seen, and so it's going to be a great matchup to see tonight. If
you're not familiar with East football, well, you may be familiar with Seven McGee, and he will play tonight, did play last week. He has kind of like a little bit of a shoulder issue going on, but it's good to see him, and this will be his last game here in Section 5 before he heads to Oregon. But not only do you have Seven McGee, Steve, tell us about number 12, Justice Ross Simmons.
He has been the most dynamic and impressive athlete all season long. He is big, fast, does everything for them, direct snaps at quarterback, goes up and gets a jump ball, plays defense. I mean, he's phenomenal.
As we take a look here at some of the highlights of Justice Ross Simmons from East. And in that game, just an unbelievable play. You'll see him at wide receiver. You'll see him actually coming off the edge to the other side, but just a great playmaker, and they will line him up in the backfield. He'll take direct snaps as well.
It's so hard. You got a guy that large that can move as quickly and nimbly as him, and he's one of those guys. He's always open. You look right there. Contested, doesn't matter. He's going to go take it.
Justice Ross Simmons in East, again, 5-1, and he had last week one of the plays of the year, certainly the strip sack, fumble recovery. There it is, and he goes the opposite direction. That in the semifinal, 26-0. Now, for Canandaigua, there were opportunities there. They had two touchdowns come off the board with penalties. That was a big issue, but East does not need to apologize. They took care of business, but the shot out of Canandaigua, I'm sure that grabs Canandaigua's attention.
Canandaigua moved the ball okay. You know, they were able to move it. Canandaigua, I think, will be able to do that as well. Canandaigua if they limit the penalties, limit the turnovers, they're going to be all right.
And there you see East, as they have a few different uniform combinations. So they'll be wearing the whites tonight with the black and gold trim on the helmets as they take the field. The co-head coaches, Steve Flagler and James Van. Flagler overseeing the offense, Van overseeing the defense. The head coach for Canandaigua, of course, it's Jeff Welch, and this is a team that took care of business against Spencerport last week, facing that double wing, which is so difficult to prepare for. Steve, I thought once they got past that first series and they figured it out, there wasn't much Spencerport could do.
I mean, that's going to be critical. This is playoff weather, right? You got the wind, you got the cold. Canada plays right into what Canandaigua wants to do. They want to establish the run just like they did last week. It'll be interesting to see if they can do that. I think the key for East is, can number 55, that defensive end that they have, get off? He has been disruptive. He's been a force all season long. When we were scouting to get ready to play him, he was the one I was most afraid of.
Now, Steve, put your coach's hat on here. And tonight the wind is going to be a factor. We are under a wind advisory. My apologies. Now, our national anthem. Our national anthem as we are getting ready for football here tonight. Canandaigua and East, the 2 seed against the 4 seed. Steve, that win tonight, as a coach, do you want to defer, or would it be more important to make sure you get the win at the beginning, at the end of the game in the first and the fourth?
I think the win's important. It all depends on how you feel about your offense. I think for me, I've always liked to take the ball first. You want to be able to kind of establish something. If you can get that mojo going and move the ball, whether you score or not, your ability to flip the field, I always like starting a game that way. Now, this is a little bit different, right? The wind is at play, but if you look at Canandaigua's game plan last week, they had heavy run game. The wind really didn't play in a factor in it at all. You look at East, yeah, they want to throw the ball deep, but they've been doing great on jet sweeps, bubbles, keepers, things that really are kind of weatherproof. So, I think the wind will be a factor, maybe more in the kicking game than anything, but both these guys can ground it out, so I don't know that the wind is going to come to play as much as people think.
So for the coin toss, for the visitors, East, it's Yasir Daniel, their main running back. And for Canandaigua, that's their left tackle, number 78, Cody Akey. Cody Akey will be headed to Cortland coming up here in the fall.
Akey was dominant last week, both sides of the ball. He played that nose on defense and really stuffed up the middle against Spencerport, and the amount of times they ran the ball behind him to the left, I'm expecting to see a heavy dose of that tonight as well. Yeah,
Dom Camella and that offense. But Dom Camella, when he has those blockers ahead of him, James Del Forte, Zach Dreisbach, Dan Coffey, Nick Erbst, certainly that was quite a factor in that game. Well, that is a big coin they're tossing there. I don't think I've ever seen one like that. And it's going to be won by East, deferred, so it will be Canandaigua here to receive. Starting right on time. I love this.
You don't mess around here.
No. Absolutely not. Our director this evening, Joel Balthaser. Chris Van Kampen is our main camera up here, but you will see Ryan Boyce, our field camera. He's right in the middle there. He's got the tough job being out in the elements tonight. We're up in the nice, cozy booth here. This facility here at Canandaigua is absolutely magnificent. It is just always fun to come down here, and everybody's so nice when we do come down.
Absolutely. I said it last week. This place is first class in every aspect.
We appreciate everyone watching here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It is a busy weekend as we will have the championship games tomorrow as well. So Liam McCormick will be back along with Dominic Camella. Also back there, Cameron Tellman, number 23, playing some special teams here. Canandaigua band getting everybody fired up here. And I think you're going to need somebody holding on to the ball tonight here. Evan French, his kickoff is going to go on the far side. And that'll be Camella. And he'll get bottled up at the 25. Let's give you the starting offense for the home team, the Canandaigua Braves. Dom Camella is their running back, their main guy. Had a big game in the win over Spencerport. Brian Boldrin, 11 touchdown passes on the season, just against 2 interceptions. Brady Camella you'll see as the fullback from time to time, number 22. Sam Bennett, who's headed to RIT to play some lacrosse after this year. He wears number 2. Jackson Grant had a touchdown in the win last week, wearing number 7. Elliot Morgan, number 8. The tight end is number 4, Eric Platten, and will reset the offensive line after this 1st and 10 play from their own 26. As Boldrin will hand off, and then he's swallowed up immediately. As busting through, that is Naeem Folks, number 55. That offensive line for Canandaigua, Cody Akey, as we mentioned, the left tackle, James Del Forte is the left guard. Zach Dreisbach, the center. Dan Coffey is your right guard. Nick Erbst, your right tackle. The East starters after this 2nd and long play is Camella going right back, and he will get it close to the marker. He's going to be just shy, getting it up to the 35 for a gain of 12 to bring up 3rd down and 1. Naeem Folks, who had that tackle for a loss. He is one of the defensive ends. D'Angelo McGowan, number 53. Eric Moye, number 50. Justice Ross Simmons will come off the edge. He wears number 12. Cameron Sykes. Mickey McCray is the inside backer. Sebastian Seawright on the outside on 3rd and short, and he's tripping him up as in the backfield. See if we can get a number on that, but that'll bring up, they do give it to him. I beg your pardon. That is enough for the first down. Levi Wright, Anthony Diaz are your corners. Jamari Gibson and Javion Brown are your safeties. 1st and 10 now from their own 36. Opening drive if you're just logging on. The snap going back to Camella, and there he is again on that left side. And it'll be Sebastian Seawright with the tackle, but not before Camella gets up to the 42 for a gain of 6.
East looks like they're starting to cut on the defensive line a little bit. It looks like Canandaigua's answer to that. They're going to try to run some inside zone, make sure people are covered up. The first play they ran that tackle rep, they pulled the backside tackle, left Naeem Folks unblocked. That's the worst thing you can possibly do because he knifed right in there.
Jamari Gibson is going to be the safety, is going to come play the corner position as the handoff is going to go inside this time. And there's a cut, and there goes Camella. Camella to the 45, and then Justice Ross Simmons trying to strip that ball out. It did come out. What is the call? Canandaigua staying on the field, and it will remain Braves ball as Justice Ross Simmons with the touchdown-saving tackle on Dominic Camella.
Great blocks downfield. That coming from behind, was that Ross Simmons coming to knife it out?
Yep, and it did look like he was down, so as Boldrin on the keeper, and Boldrin is going to get belted on the far side. Cameron Sykes, one of the two, making the big hit for a loss.
They ran that counter read. They were trying to get full flow to the left side, and Boldrin saw the keep. But again, Naeem Folks has been just the man all season long, read it, redirected, and was able to make that play in the backfield.
2nd down and 11. Again, the I formation with Boldrin to take the snap. He'll hand off to Camella, and Camella trying to run between the tackles. And again, that's going to be McCray helping to slow the runner up there. Only a gain of 1 to bring up 3rd and long. And what you would figure is 4-down territory, although we got to say, they have a really good kicker at Canandaigua. And Oliver Harvey, 3rd down and 10 from the 30. The snap, Camella, and he gets swallowed up. And East, they are shooting the gaps. Are they guessing, or are they just blowing people off the ball?
It's Folks again. I mean, you've got to get 2 hands and lock on him. They tried to pull on the front side, and you cannot just have one hand on Folks. He will make every single play in the backfield. He is a long, fast athlete, powerful at the point of attack, and you have to have answers for him.
Jeff Welch is going to go for it on 4th and 14 from the 34. Canandaigua's got to get to the 20. As Boldrin throwing into the wind. He's going to throw the interception! Going right back to midfield. It is not extremely costly, but the interception is by Anthony Diaz, number 22. And talking today with head coach Steve Flagler, just raving how Anthony Diaz has done a great job. Anthony Diaz, his dad is the Edison head coach, Larry Morales, and there's Diaz making a big play for East.
Just a freshman. I was talking to Coach Flagler, and he said this kid's upside is tremendous. He couldn't have enough good things to say about him, and there he comes making a critical play early.
So instead of the ball being at the 34, say for an incompletion with a return, that's going to go back to the 45. The officials are conferring for some reason. We're going to have a personal foul against East. Roughing the passer.
Wow.
Oh, my.
That's huge.
Oh. Well, that's huge because the penalty came after the ball was delivered. The interception had nothing to do with the roughing the passer. Oh, yes, indeed, going up high there.
Yep, good call. I mean, it's tough. Kids trying to make a play on the quarterback, but just a step late. Now can Canandaigua capitalize on that break that they just got?
Dom Camella looking back at the sidelines for the call as Boldrin, who just threw that interception, will take it off the board. As after the penalty, that is going to be spotted now at the 19-yard line. Still is the opening drive here for Canandaigua. Glad you're with us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Boldrin takes the snap, hands off to Camella. Camella between the tackles, and he will plow his way ahead down to the 12-yard line for a gain of 7.
Great job by Canandaigua. There was that bubble to the left. It looked like the defensive tackles were a little bit shifted over to the right side, and they were able to come back with counter and hit right there in the bubble.
Second down and 3. The snap, Camella going back to it, trying to get over a man. And that will get down to, they'll put it close. It's going to be just shy to bring up 3rd and short.
East's answer all night so far has been to compromise the movement, to just cut the defensive line, create a pile, and make Camella redirect. So far it's working for him.
See if they go back to Camella or open it up here a little bit on 3rd and short. Boldrin will hand off to Camella. He's got room, and he's got the first down. This will be 1st and goal to go from the 2. Dom Camella following the block there, James Del Forte.
That left side, again, just like last week. They're basically taking the same recipe they had last week, trying to attack on the left side. So far it's working for them. Let's see if that continues.
1st and goal. As the snap, the handoff going back to Camella. He's in. Touchdown. Touchdown for Canandaigua. Of course, the key play on the drive, the interception that was overturned by the roughing the passer call. Canandaigua making East pay. It's now 6-0.
That is the dangerous part of using cut blocks to kind of be your answer to inside zone. If everybody's bodied up and you have a back like Camella with that kind of vision and that kind of cutting ability, he can find that crease and make you pay.
Camella for 2 yards on that play. And for Dom Camella, that is his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. Oliver Harview is putting it between the uprights on a Wednesday night. That is certainly not easy. 7-0 our score here. 6:54 remaining in the first. As we take another look at the touchdown.
Zone left, they get the cut, but again, you can see Camella can see the cut on the ground, and he's able to redirect, move around the pile, and get right in there.
Now for East, first time we'll see them on offense tonight with some playmakers.
It'll be exciting to see. Seven McGee's now 2 weeks removed from that shoulder injury he sustained. Saw him in warm-ups. He looked great, ready to go. With all those weapons, it'll be interesting to see how they deploy them.
As deep back for East will be TJ Gillum, number 6. Also back will be Yasir Daniel, number 3. Anthony Diaz back there as well. So
I don't know where you even try to kick this ball. It's just dangerous returners everywhere.
Yeah, maybe it's just a squib kick here. Particularly you're going into the wind. Harview to kick this away. And that's a nice one that he gets off. That Gilliam will take it about his own 15. Gilliam stutter steps, gets out of that. He's able to buy some space on the far side. Gilliam to the 50 into Canandaigua territory. Wow, like a joystick. Who was that returner from the Chiefs years ago? Anybody help me? The returner, that was exactly like that. It'll come to me sooner or later, Steve, but just an unbelievable play there for Canandaigua, for the East Eagles on that return.
Great job on the swarm, but then you could see they kind of held up and started grabbing a little bit and didn't get pad on. They were able to catch him up and take him down, but that's not exactly the way they wanted to start.
You'll see different players for East at the quarterback position. Levi Wright is your main guy wearing number 1. His offensive line going from left to right. Sebastian Seawright. Isaiah Robinson-Holiday is your left guard. Kalen Brown your center. Deshaun Walters will start tonight at right guard, and Naeem Folks will anchor the right tackle position. We'll get to the skill players after this 1st and 10 play from the Canandaigua 42. Yasir Daniel is the running back. Daniel will get the call, and he's got a head of steam. Wow. Daniel, there he goes. 20, 15, 10, 5, bank it. Touchdown. Touchdown East. 42 yards for Yasir Daniel. And now East just an extra point away from tying this game.
Well, that's how you answer, right? You can't get your athletes out into open space. Canandaigua tried to reach and grab. You cannot do that. You're not going to stop these guys with arm tackles. You have to put shoulder pad on to slow them down, or else that's going to happen all night long.
French for the extra point. He's got The wind now, it's swirling. It's going a little bit from right to left here, judging by the American flag that's by the scoreboard. The snap is down. The kick is up. And it is right through the uprights. And we are tied at 7. Didn't even have time to set the lineups there, Steve Lee. And what a play there by East to tie this game.
What contrasting styles. Look at this. They pull. They run that wrap.
Wow, what a block by Gilliam.
Right
6.
there on the edge. Sealed him. And safety didn't have a good angle, and then he was gone.
Justice Ross Simmons with a great block, number 12, as you mentioned. And for Yasir Daniel, coming into this game, averaging 92 yards per game on the ground. That's his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. For Canandaigua, any excuse that, like last week, you had to design a completely different defense? Now you're facing something total opposite what you faced against Spencerport last week.
I mean, it's similarly, like Coach Welch said last week, that first drive, it took them a while to settle down and get used to it. I think you're seeing that with East as well. See if Canandaigua can settle after experiencing that speed in person.
Yeah, the flag will come down here as East kicks this out of bounds. With 6:32 remaining here in the first. And they're going to make East re-kick this. So after the penalty, mark it back to 5 yards. Jameer Walker, number 20. We see him out there for special teams for East. Cameron Higgins, number 28, another freshman, is out there as well. This one is going to be pinned at the 25 as Camella is going to be met. And that's just some great work by the special teams unit of East here. As Canandaigua will start here at about their own 25.
Looks like fullbacks back out in the game. They're going to get in that 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end, and try to ground it out again, eat up clock, especially after that last possession that East had. You're going to want to take your time if you're Canandaigua.
Bennett will be the receiver to the near boundary for Canandaigua. 1st and 10 as they start at their own 28. Boldrin will hand it off to Camella, and Camella eventually will be brought down, not before he gets up to about the 35, so that's a gain of 7 on 1st down.
Left side again, got good movement. That'll be interesting. Last time that happened to East, every time they got good movement, they would come back and cut. Canandaigua's answer was to run inside zone. Let's see if that continues.
Going right back to the run, and that'll be Diaz lowering the shoulder to help out, but that's a big man in the middle there for East, helping out with the tackle. Number 78, Kalen Brown, and he'll bring up 3rd down.
And this is where the wind plays a little bit, right? You're going into the wind. East feels like they can match up well on the outside man-to-man, so they just loaded the box and brought everybody.
Does Canandaigua dare go to the air here? 3rd down. No, they're going to keep it on the ground to get a blocker in front of him. But in the end, it's going to be just shy. As Cameron Sykes with the tackle on Camella. And it's decision time here for Jeff Welch. Well, actually, no, they're going to give it to him.
Nice spot.
Yeah, it is a really nice spot up to the 38-yard line. 1st down for the Braves.
You can see, even though East has those safeties deep, they are coming downhill to the run. They're not really even thinking about pass.
Low snap, and it's going to be on the turf. That's loose, and Canandaigua comes back up with it.
This is where Canandaigua really needs to settle down. You know, this is kind of what happened to Irondequoit last week. Move the ball, have positive things happen, put the ball on the ground. Canandaigua's lucky. They've had the breaks right now where they've gotten the ball back, but they've really got to clean that up.
If you're just logging on, Canandaigua scored on a 2-yard touchdown run by Camella. That drive aided by a roughing the passer call on 4th down. that would have stopped the drive. East getting their touchdown on a long run by Daniel. Boldrin in an empty set's going to throw on the run, and it's going to be complete on the far side. Going to be just shy of the marker, and coming all the way across the field, that's Sam Bennett for the reception.
When Canandaigua rolls right, they run that stretch protection for their sprint out. It's impressive. Boldrin always has a lot of time to do it, does not get a lot of pressure. They also ran away from Folks on the weak side, so they didn't have that pressure in the face.
Javion Brown will be the player tasked with covering Bennett here on 3rd and short. The snap going back to Camella, and Camella is going to be wrapped up. Who do you want to call there? That was Sebastian Seawright and Naeem Folks on the tackle for East. 4th down, and the punting unit coming out.
Those two guys have been getting it done all year. It's going to be interesting if Canandaigua decides to continue with this ground game, and if they want to spread it out a little bit. They've had success in the past going 4 wides, running their jet sweep stuff. We haven't seen that at all. Maybe they want to come back with that this next series.
How about this? It's going to be Anthony Diaz back to return this. This is the freshman who had that interception that was waved off. As Harvey gets the snap, and he's going to put a nice end-over-end kick that everybody's got to back away from. So going into the wind, that's about as good as it gets. That gets down to the 29, a 21-yard punt into the wind for Canandaigua. As we now will see East. Let's give you the East starters here.
While we still have time.
Yeah, while we still have time. Kenneth Edwards, Quantrill Green, TJ Gilliam, Justice Ross Simmons are your wide receivers. Yasir Daniel, of course, 7 McGee, wearing number 7. When he's out there, we'll try to point him out. Nick Earps, Dan Coffey, Zach Dreisbach, your main anchors on the defensive line. Canandaigua going back to a 3-4 alignment this year, more like a 3-5. Brady Camella, Eric Planton on the inside. We'll give you the rest of the Canandaigua defense after this 1st and 10 play, where Levi Wright, waiting the shotgun snap, claps his hands, takes the snap to Daniel. Daniel evades 1, makes 2 men miss, and does a lot of work for a 1-yard gain. Ryan Gouette, Sam Bennett are the outside backers. Jackson Neiman, Elliot Morgan are your corners. Jackson Grant is one of the corners, Morgan and Neiman the safeties, Grant at corner, and then Caleb Outhouse, who didn't get much time last week just because of the alignment you're facing. Spencer Port, that's how the games go sometimes. He's wears number 9. He is going to see more time here tonight, no doubt. 2nd down and 9 as Gilliam goes into motion. Looked like that might have been a busted play. No doubt it was, as Levi Wright was expecting to hand it off, or perhaps, but then improvising. That pass was well offline.
There definitely seemed to be a little bit of confusion there. The line didn't quite move when the ball was snapped. Maybe that was snapped early. They tried to make the most of it and get that off.
3rd down and 9. The player to watch, well, yeah, 2 of them. You have McGee, number 7, to the top of your screen, and you have Justice Ross Simmons to the bottom of your screen. My goodness, Canandaigua, you can pick your poison here. Who do you want to defend? As looked like we might have had some movement. The play, though, goes, and I thought that might have been a live ball, but they're going to say it was just going forward. The pass incomplete, and not a good series there for East.
Canandaigua knew that was coming. When East gets in that 2-by-2 spread set, they really like to go bubble screen. That's a big tendency of theirs, and Canandaigua was all over it.
Nearly a big play there as Caleb Outhouse, who we were just talking about, number 9, nearly coming up with that interception. So French will have the wind at his back, opportunity to flip the field position. A bad snap, and he's going to have to improvise. He does get this off, and it goes out of bounds. And this is always fun. Where is the official going to mark it?
He's still walking.
He's walking into East territory. He's still going. Wow. He's going to stop at the 37. My goodness, so that'll be a 6-yard punt for East. So a few mistakes here by the Eagles tonight in the 7-7 game. Now Canandaigua with excellent field position. The Camella brothers once again. Dominic, the running back. Brady, your fullback. Brady is also the leading tackler, linebacker. So certainly in there, once again, Naeem Folks swallowing up number 21, Dom Camella, for another tackle for loss.
I mean, at this point, it's a numbers game. They have so many more players in the box right now, does East, and Canandaigua just doesn't have enough bodies to block all of them. They're going to have to either spread it out or have some kind of threat through play action to kind of force those guys to back off a little bit.
Jackson Grant will be the receiver to the near boundary. He had a touchdown in the win over Spencerport last week on 2nd down and 13. The snap, Boldrin fires right side, and the screen pass, and that's going to be Bennett in traffic, and he will wind his way down to the 30-yard line for a gain of 10 to bring up 3rd and short.
Great answer to heavy pressure. Get those guys to commit downhill to you at the quarterback position and to get that outside boundary screen. Had blockers in front, is able to get themselves into 3rd and manageable.
Sam Bennett, you see, number 2, along with Grant on 3rd down and 2, and what no doubt is 4-down territory. Camella gets the call, trying to run around the right side. He finds a little seam, gets enough for the 1st down as he goes down to about the 20-yard line. But we have a flag, and is this going to be a hold perhaps against Canandaigua? Yep, that will kill a drive, those holding calls.
It looked like something happened over there with Folks. They were at him. They were running at him at the point of attack. It looked like somebody may have taken him down by the legs, and there you go.
So instead of a 1st down in the red zone, you mark off the penalty yardage, and now you go from 3rd and short to 3rd down and 13.
Fullback's coming out, receiver coming in.
Yep, so Elliot Morgan checking in place of Brady Camella on 3rd down and long. On this night that feels more like mid-November rather than the final day in the month of April. As the rain begins to come down, here will be the snap. It's a design keeper as under pressure and nothing there. Justice Ross Simmons with the tackle for a loss as Brian Boldrin had nowhere to go.
Just too much closing speed. Boldrin got away with that. That was a similar thing he broke last week. He was able to get to the perimeter when the pass broke down, but Ross Simmons is just too fast.
And a timeout. And that's going to be East calling the timeout. And why would that be, Coach? You want to make sure that they're kicking into the win.
Absolutely. They want to take advantage of this situation. They knew Canandaigua was just trying to run this clock out and try to get them in better position, and East made the smart move.
So with the timeout, for our Canandaigua fans watching tonight, let's go back to the win last week over Spencerport, the highlights of this 29-10 win that got the Braves back to the final. And for Spencerport, hey, it started out really well there as they get the touchdown. That was the opening drive, but that was the only time. There's the Jackson Grant touchdown that would tie the game up. But then it was just a lot of Dominic Camella breaking tackles, and this will be short of the goal line, just barely, but then he'd be able to finish off a little bit thereafter.
Coach Welch said last week, it's that first series against Spencerport. It takes you some time to adjust, and then they could settle down. Maybe that's kind of what's happening here a little bit too. East broke that first run, but it looks like Canandaigua's defense has settled down a little bit. Now we're going to find out if they can settle down some more on the next series.
So here will be the punt. As East using their first timeout to manage the field position. That snap on a hop, and because it was on a hop, Harvey had to go down. His knee was right there, and the official right on top of it. Oh, a tough break for Canandaigua. Now East will start with the possession in Braves territory.
That's a costly mistake, and again, the credit to the East coaches. They took that timeout. They put them in a stressful situation, and unfortunately for Canandaigua, they weren't able to answer the bell. "46 seconds with the wind at their back. Expect East maybe to take a shot."
And one of the guys they could take a shot with, Justice Ross Simmons. He's wearing number 12. He is to the near boundary. On this 1st and 10 at the Braves 45. Right, claps his hands, And handing it off, Daniel trying to get around that left side. You see Daniel, he's going to try to reverse his field. He's in all sorts of trouble. And the Canandaigua defense coming up big, led by their leading tackler, Brady Camella, the tackle for the loss.
That's more the Canandaigua-style football they're used to playing, right? On that first one that they broke, it was single, one guy on the edge trying to make a tackle in open space, but here you can see the swarm. If you force them to redirect and give yourselves enough time to get your reinforcements there, you can slow down this East running attack.
So we have a penalty that goes against East on top of it. I would have to think Coach Welch would decline this, would he not, if you had a loss of 7 on that play? Of course, his dad, the longtime coach at Ithaca for many, many years. So, indeed, they will decline that. Clock at 36 seconds. And they will start it. Kenneth Edwards taking off the jacket, and he pops out onto the field, number 11. He is at the top of your screen. The snap and the handoff. Not very clean, but this is Seven McGee. Seven McGee breaking a tackle. McGee getting it into Canandaigua territory. He will be short of the first down, but he ducks out of bounds to stop the clock with 6.8 remaining in the first quarter.
Looked pretty healthy right there. That was a pretty nice job. The open field, Seven McGee shows you right there why he's so hard. Is it the speed? Is it the power? He's got both, and he can pretty much do what he wants to do once he gets on the edge.
So the ball going out of bounds here, and then this will bring up 3rd down and 1. What will likely be the last play for East with the wind at their back here. Movement on the line, and that will give East the first down. Oh, no, they're going to say a false start. Ball back to the 41. As they will start the clock back up. Nope. And we'll put the time back up on the clock here. And normally in any other game you wouldn't be so worried about closing seconds here, but considering the strength of the wind here tonight, they reset the clock. That clock should not have started back up after the false start. 3rd down and 6. Handoff to McGee. McGee bouncing off one tackle, and the flag will come in normally from the angle where holding would be called. That stops the clock. 1.7 remaining. Yeah, if you're Jeff Welch, back him up, and then eventually you'll want East to punt into the wind.
You got to play field position here. I mean, East has the ability to break it at any point. Any chance you have to back them up, you take it. Both coaches early on, when you get in a game like this, you always want to get a feel for how the officials also are going to call the game. I think they're showing they're going to call it pretty close, I think, on both sides. So they got to adjust, right? Coaches can't really worry about complaining too much. You know if you're East, they're going to get called for it on the outside, so you got to make sure you coach up your kids that that's what's coming, and there's no time to waste complaining about it. You just got to adapt.
So we went from 3rd and 1, but after a couple of penalties, it's not going to be 3rd and 14. as they start back up the clock, and that's going to bring us officially to the end of the first quarter. In the Class A championship game, it's East and Canandaigua tied at 7 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
Coming into Lattimore on a daily basis is the highlight of my day. We'll have patients coming in. As soon as they hit the physical therapist, we introduce ourselves and we bring them back, and you see a whole bunch of patients who are in pain, laughing and smiling and having a great time. And almost for that 1 hour that they're with us in PT, they're forgetting about all their problems. When you're lost with pain, reducing your quality of life, and then somebody there says, "I can help you," there's no better feeling than that.
Our thanks to Connors and Ferris and Lattimore Physical Therapy, and to everyone for helping make these broadcasts possible, especially in a year like this where, man, can you only imagine how many people would actually be out? I think the whole town of Canandaigua will be out here tonight.
It's incredible. So lucky that we have this ability to live stream these games and for everybody to see this.
We're having a lot of fun with this, and you can also tweet us at Varsity Media, the Twitter handle. As now it's going to be 3rd and 14 to begin the second in a 7-7 game, as Wright out of the shotgun takes the snap, and it's the backside screen, and that is going to be read perfectly as it went right to the middle there to Diaz. No gain on the play, and now East will have to punt.
East likes to run a lot of those wing sets, and that wing is a big tendency key read for Canandaigua's defense. Wherever the wing goes tends to where the play goes. They like to run counter, pull the wing back. They like to run stretch behind them. So when you see that wing sneaking across, if you're a linebacker and know that, you should be able to stay home, and that's exactly what they did.
French here to kick this one away. Going into the wind. And nearly blocked, but he got it off somehow. Might have been deflected. And it is going to go back to the original line of scrimmage. And, boy, there was some pushing and shoving right after that. But they will say it'll be Canandaigua ball. And it's a net of 0. But I don't know how French got this off.
Just barely. But then it looked like the returner forgot that it's live and picked it up and thought it was dead. And all of a sudden realized he was live.
Oh, yeah, I know. So Canandaigua with the opportunity. Their defense did its job. As you mentioned, Steve, in a field position game, 1st and 10, the pitch going now, trying to swing this to the outside, Camella. And Camella, again, that'll be Seawright, 58 with the tackle, as Javion Brown also came up here to push him in his direction.
That was their first attempt to try to run kind of laterally at them, and usually Canandaigua has more success when they do that with a slot receiver that can block down and try to seal the edge. They're doing it out of their pro set. It just allowed all of the East athletes to swarm at them and run laterally and chase them down.
Eric Platt in the tight end will be lining up on the right side of the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the left on 2nd and long, and here's a long throw, wide open, touchdown, 5, end zone. 45 yards for number 7, Jackson Grant, and Canandaigua retakes the lead.
It's that same recipe they used last week to such success. They were waiting and waiting to get that wind at their back. The safeties have been biting downhill on the run the entire night. Now they got the wind at their back. You just knew that was going to be coming.
For Grant, I'd have to think that those catches might actually be more difficult when you're that wide open.
It's a lot of time to think about, but he's done it so much this season. I'm sure it's second nature to him at this point.
Harview to make this a 7-point game. And he puts it through. And the Braves are up 14-7 as Boldrin, nice delivery too.
Single coverage, no safety help. The corner shouldn't give him inside leverage and kind of let them get underneath. And once he does that, there's nothing but open field inside, and Boldrin just has to deliver the ball up in the air into open space and let Grant run under it.
Opening minutes here of the second quarter. And that's the second touchdown in as many weeks for Grant. Third of the season for Grant as well. And he is now tied for the team lead in receptions with that catch. And for Boldrin, 11th touchdown pass of the season. And now the rain coming down, and you might be able to see it if you look closely here, kind of coming in sheets here. Is yes, our low-angle camera. That's the voice of reason, Ryan Boyce, out there in the elements. As the kick will go into the end zone. That's Harview's leg there with the wind at his back.
That's a great weapon to have tonight. You don't want to give East any kind of field position. They have a couple times, and to be able to make sure you kick that out and dictate where they start is huge. Now, last series, East moved the ball really well. It was holding penalties and kind of self-inflicted wounds that backed them up. Let's see if they can clean that up and continue the progress they showed last time.
Yeah, outside of the one big play, the opening play by Daniel, it's hasn't been run at the efficiency as what East was doing last week against Canandaigua. Daniel will be the running back. And is this it will be Ross Simmons at quarterback. So Justice Ross Simmons, who is a threat to take off himself, as he'll send Daniel in motion, faking the end around, and Justice Ross Simmons breaking a tackle, and he'll lean forward. He's close to the first down.
When Ross Simmons gets back there in that empty set, they like to run that jet sweep or the quarterback inside zone keep. All you got to do is watch the wing. If the wing comes back across the formation, Ross Simmons is keeping it. If he blocks out, they're handing it off on the jet sweep.
Seven McGee will get the call from Yasir Daniel as Ross Simmons, as Daniel goes into motion once again, faking the end around, and again, pretty much the same play. And still that pile finally going forward in the forward progress. Somehow, Justice Ross Simmons willing his way to another first down.
I don't think the TV camera does it justice. When you're on the field with this kid, he is massive. And he runs fast. He is hard to bring down. He's an impressive athlete.
They're going to keep with the same formation. As once again, Daniel going into motion, and it's going to be the same exact call. And this time, it won't go for a first down, but still for some healthy yardage, no doubt, as Jackson Neiman, safety, coming up to make the tackle.
They found a recipe that works. The jet sweep is so dangerous. When you have athletes like they have, you have to stay home on the edge, and the second you keep guys outside, it's less defenders to stop Ross Simmons just running downhill at you.
So we got an illegal shift call against East, and these are what's been plaguing this team here so far tonight.
That wind and rain is coming now.
Yeah, it is. If you're watching this at home thinking, boy, I would love to be at the game, we would love you here too, but I'll tell you.
The ref can't even let go of the ball.
No.
The second he does, it blows away. He's just trying to hold it until he can hand it off to the center at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking around. All the pylons are down. It's the American flag rippling on the far side as the play will be called in by East. Players on the sideline for both teams just kind of moving around, trying to keep warm, bouncing up and down. Here will be Ross Simmons again in an empty set, and again he'll send Daniel. And this time he's going to try to follow Daniel's lead block. However, flag coming down from the outside. No gain on the play. And another flag comes down. So this is not the same flag, I don't think, Steve.
No, it looks like there was some kind of illegal block on the edge, and that was the initial flag, but then it looked like Canandaigua, somebody said something, and that drew the second.
It is going to be against East if we're seeing the head official go over and ask Jeff Welch what he'd like to do here.
Wow.
Oh.
Is that an ejection?
What was the first call, Steve?
There was an illegal crackback block.
Okay.
East likes to do that. They like to kind of crack down on the end when they try to run outside, and it looked like obviously that was an illegal one that they did. But I'm not sure, but it looks like Ryan Gavette might be exiting this contest.
Yep, he's coming off. As the officials continue to confer here, and actually Coach Van and Flagler getting an explanation on the east far side.
That is a tough loss for them. Gavette does a great job on the outside, setting the edge, kind of limiting perimeter runs, which is again part of what East likes to do. And losing him, that's going to be a big loss for Canandaigua. We'll see how they answer.
What are some of the things that might lead to an ejection like that? I mean, we can't speculate, but just speaking in general.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like there was any kind of punch or anything like that. So something must have been said that warranted that kind of ejection. But again, it's hard to know exactly from up here.
So the net result will be 1st and 15 for the Eagles. Clock stopping with 9:21 remaining.
They're still in that empty wing set. Ross Simmons at quarterback.
McGee is the receiver to the near side, as they'll send Daniel in motion once again. Ross Simmons takes the snap. He's going to follow his blocks, and he's going to be wrapped up at his knees. And that's what's going to have to happen. Get multiple guys in there. Again, that's Brady Camella, number 22, helping out.
And really, that's Herbst at the D end. Those defensive ends for Canandaigua do such a nice job at the edge. And he was able to kind of blow that up, force Ross Simmons to stop and kind of dance a little bit, and allowed enough time for everyone else to come and get him down.
No gain on that play to bring up 2nd down and 15. And now it's Seven McGee at quarterback. So McGee waiting the shotgun snap and whistle, and the clock is at 0.
Took too long. Out of that split set with 7 in the middle with 2 guys outside, they do like to run a lot of that outside zone, so this could be an opportunity for 7 to try to get to the perimeter, get out in open space and use that speed.
2nd down and 20. Have to get to the 50-yard line for the 1st down. And again, East is going into the wind here in the 2nd quarter. Daniel going to motion as McGee remains in at quarterback. McGee will hand off to Daniel, getting around that right side. No, he will not get around that right side.
That was a great job by that outside backer. He just came, took on the lead blocker with his inside shoulder, blew it right up, and everybody else was able to cage it.
Dominic Camella, number 21, and you just saw Sam Bemmett running off the field, 66. And now it's 3rd down and 20. Again, well, actually 3rd down and 22. They'll mark that for a 2-yard loss. And another whistle. Kind of choppy here, Coach.
This game's not quite running at the same clip the game last week, huh?
Well, what was it, 2 hours, 5 minutes, something like that.
Something like that.
So McGee will be in the slot here to the left. 3rd and 22. McGee now in the backfield. The snap. McGee trying to lean forward, and that's not going to go for much. Now, last time East punted, it was directly maybe no gain on it. There was a net of 0.
And the wind's only picked up since, so it'll be interesting to see where this thing ends up.
Yeah, whistle and a timeout. So East will use their second timeout here. And let's roll the tape here for the East Eagles, who get here with a convincing win, 26-0. I think it's a surprise when a 4 knocks off a none, but Coach, your thoughts on how big a surprise is there we see Diaz getting the interception.
Irondequoit had their chances. Penalties and turnovers, that'll do you in when you're playing in the playoffs, but East was able to capitalize. Ross Simmons just had a monster of a football game.
Ross Simmons with the touchdown. This would be Daniel finding pay dirt. And then the big play there is Calarco, the quarterback, stripped by Ross Simmons, who then picks it up out of midair. That's a college football play there.
There's no question
there,
about
that
it.
is. And again, Justice Ross Simmons drawing interest from Syracuse, drawing interest from UConn.
He is a big-time, next-level FBS football player. There's no question.
Canandaigua, and another whistle, and now Canandaigua will call timeout. So the down and distance in 4th and 16. So we have some highlights here we could talk about. This was last year, Canandaigua and East. Hobart College. Remember we used to go to different sites there? It just seems. When I say last year, I let me be clear. It wasn't exactly last season. This would have been in the 2019 calendar year. Coming out of that, 4th down and 16. The snap. They're gonna go for it. Is that ball hanging in the air, and then the interception is dropped on the far side? But I'm not sure if that was a heady play by Camella. Maybe he's thinking, let me just kind of knock this down, and we'll get off the field. We get the ball back on downs anyways.
On purpose or not, it worked out for them. They get East off the field. They have great field position now. Wind at their back. Their whole playbook's open in this situation. They were able to capitalize on the pass last time. Let's see if they try to mix it up again this series.
Canandaigua 14, East 7. The touchdown before on the last drive, 45 yards to Jackson Grant. That's the margin right now, 7 points for Canandaigua. Different formation. It's going to be the play action. Bolden rolling to his right. He's under pressure. He's going to tuck it and run, and he'll get out of bounds. Short of the first down, as they will mark him out inside of the 30-yard line.
He was fortunate to get away there. It looked like Folks had him in the backfield, and he just kind of slipped out of reach, able to make a play out of nothing. They tried to go with that bunch set, tried to get those guys to attack the outside third, but it looked like he's bottled it up well.
Gain of 5 to bring up 2nd down and 5. Bennett to the near side. The snap, Camella, and then Camella's got some room. Camella to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Canandaigua. Dom Camella, his 2nd of the night. In the wind and the rain, and Canandaigua's up by 2 scores.
Executed beautifully. Camella was untouched. The offensive line did a great job there. As much as that was Camella's burst, that would give credit to Canandaigua's offensive line.
Dom Camella's second tonight, and at right side of the offensive line, Nick Herbst, 62, Dan Coffey, number 70, delivering some key blocks as Harview to make this a 14-point game. No, it's a low snap, and that will not go for anything, as with the tackle for East was Darren Blocker, number 24. As we take another look here, and yeah, like you said, Coach, look at the line there, and that's also Platten, the tight end, sealing that off, number 4.
They ran that zone left, and Camella saw that perfect cutback lane. East overcommitted to the left side, and he just hit that cutback and was gone.
It's funny, as soon as like the Canandaigua had the wind at their back, it's like they flipped the switch in this game.
You got to capitalize when you can. I think Canandaigua thrives off of being, multiple and being a threat with play action to complement their run game. And as soon as they got the wind at their back, it kind of forced East to take that into account. They couldn't load the box with everybody like they were doing in the first quarter, and now Canandaigua was off and running.
But East has playmakers on return. Daniel and McGee are deep back.
Looks like that ball's laying flat, so turns out it wasn't on purpose.
Drum Chaney is going to go over number 11 to hold this. Long kick. Harview does it again.
That is such an underrated weapon in high school football. When you have the ability to kick the ball in the back of the end zone, it is just huge.
20-7 is our score.
It's interesting. East had something going with Ross Simmons at the quarterback, and now it looks like they're kind of going back to the set that they started with.
The snap, and it'd be the handoff inside. And that'll go about to the 25.
They ran that inside zone with the wing blocking back, the wing block back on Dreisbach, but Dreisbach was able to just kind of shed that block and go make that tackle.
Daniel with the carry. Levi Wright back in at quarterback for East. They'll mark it at the 24, so this will be 2nd down and 6. Daniel faking the end around, and Levi Wright keeping it himself. No gain on the play.
Just like they did last week. Herbst and Dreisbach, those defensive ends, they've been dominant all season long.
Nick Herbst with the tackle for only a 1-yard gain. And then Nick Herbst headed to Brockport. Staying around here, will play his ball in the Empire 8. And movement before, and sort this out. And mistake by Canandaigua will give East a 1st down.
A lot of penalties tonight. They got those championship jitters going. Hopefully that's something that can settle as the game goes.
So the ball up to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for East. Going into the wind once again. The snap and the handoff going to Daniel. And Daniel gets stood up, and after that first run that he broke off that went for a touchdown, there hasn't been much room there for Yasir Daniel.
Herbst, again, coming off the edge, was able to get a hand on him and slow him up. Those defensive ends, again, they've just dominated. They're going to have to do something where they use the wings or double team or something on the edge, because leaving them one-on-one with the tackles right now, Canandaigua's defensive ends are winning every battle.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Ross Simmons now back at quarterback. You can tell he's wearing the gold sleeves there as he takes the snap directly and try to spin around, does a complete 360 before he gets stood up and driven back forward progress, they'll give him a couple.
Canandaigua knew it was coming. I mean, that's all they've been doing with him, and that was beautiful by their Canandaigua's defensive front to just stand him right up.
Third down. Daniel will come to the near side this time. McGee is in the backfield. Right. Takes the snap. He'll hand off to McGee. McGee keeping those legs moving, trying to fight for extra yardage. He gets the first down. So tough to bring down, and that will go for a gain of 10, first down East.
They had him wrapped up 5 yards before the line of scrimmage, but credit to McGee, just kept moving and moving and moving and got the first.
You see the rain coming in sideways here with the wind. Much needed first down. High snap that Wright will have to improvise, and he'll take it himself, gets to the outside. A flag, however, coming down.
In the backfield, is it another holding penalty?
Yep, you betcha.
Just feels like every time East gets something going, they're getting a little momentum, and then a holding penalty comes in and backs them up.
Well, certainly the time of possession has been in favor of East, I want to say here. It's Canandaigua when they've gotten the ball. It's just been quick strikes here. Here will be the snap once again. It'll be McGee. McGee making a cut, and he'll get across the 35 and up to the 37. So on 1st and 19, gets some of that yardage back. This will be 2nd down and 13.
That's where East does have the luxury without being able to really go to the passing game right now with all that wind in your face. They have so many athletes that can get the ball in space and get you your chunk plays running the football.
Ross Simmons will be the receiver to the top of your screen on 2nd down and long. The snap, it'll be Daniel. Daniel in trouble, and Daniel is going to be wrapped up for a loss on the play.
Herbst. He's just been a monster all night.
Another. Now we get a whistle, and a timeout is called by Canandaigua. They're trying to preserve some time on that. We'll take a break here. Well, no, actually, let's show you the brackets here. As this is just the beginning of what is going to be a wonderful weekend here in Section 5 on the Varsity Media Sports Network. I'm excited. I get to call my first 8-man football game tomorrow, as we will have the championship game tomorrow between Red Jacket and Pembroke. That will be coming up at 2 p.m. on the Varsity Media Sports Network. That looks like snow. Trust me, it's just not. It's just rain going sideways here, folks. That's how windy it is.
It is nice to be in this cozy Canandaigua press box, that's for sure.
So 3rd down and 23. Handoff going inside to McGee. He'll make that Daniel, and he'll get it up to the 40-yard line. And another timeout called by the Braves, and that will stop the clock with 2:33 remaining before halftime.
Last time in this similar situation, East elected not to punt and just try to throw it up. See what they do here. I mean, the wind is whipping. It might be a better idea just to take a shot, maybe a jump ball with Ross Simmons. I mean, Ross Simmons has shown all season that covered or not, he can maybe come down with it. So maybe it's a better option on the averages to just kind of throw it up and see what happens.
So to reset the timeouts here, Canandaigua would have one left. Or actually, they're out of timeouts. I beg your pardon. East with one left. if you're Steve Flagler, who calls the plays here, are you thinking about running an offensive play?
I think you got to. You're either going to. I mean, let's be honest. They could just run the ball and see if Ross Simmons can get it. I don't think you punt. Obviously, that has not worked for them well. And if you can see the wind, I mean, it is in their face, and I don't think that's going to go anywhere.
It is. The conditions here are just yes, they are that bad here tonight for the last day in the month of April. Ross Simmons on 4th down. It's going to be a quick kick, and that's about as good as a result there on that punt. It'll be down at the 37, so plenty of time here for Canandaigua to add to this lead with 2:24 remaining before halftime. 20-7 is the score. Now it'll be up to the East defense here just to stop the bleeding.
Canandaigua looks like it's coming out with their spread sets. Fullbacks coming off the field. No timeouts left. Probably go to their hurry up. Nope, they're bringing the fullback back out.
So the fullback 22, Brady Camella. Platt and the tight end will be on the right side of this formation on 1st and 10 of their own 37. Boldrin will hand off to Dom Camella, who makes one cut, and then he will be buried by Sebastian Seawright coming over the top, number 58.
I think, again, that was set up by Folks. Folks had so much penetration on the front side. They tried to go inside zone to the left, and it forced Camella to cut back, and then East was able to meet him. 2nd
down and 10. Bennett going into motion, rolling to his right. Ross Simmons and pressuring, and that will be sailing out of bounds, and not much else Boldrin could do there with Justice Ross Simmons bearing down on him.
Extreme pressure in the face. They even tried doubling him, but Ross Simmons just kind of threw them off, got hands in the face, and there was nothing he could do. He's lucky he got that ball off.
Rain coming in horizontally. Snap. Boldrin loses the handle, and he's going to have to fall on it. And with 1:54 remaining, and let's see if East will use a timeout. They will not. Now they will. So the timeout called by East. We will take a break here with 1:46 remaining before halftime. It's Canandaigua leading 20-7 in the Class A championship game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Looking for a great way to commemorate this season's sectionals? Section 5 Athletics is excited to work with Muggs & More to offer a variety of apparel options for each sport and each season. Items include graphics specifically developed to feature the sport and year, including items such as hoodies, hats, pants, and more. Apparel for each season is available for a limited time, so don't miss your chance. Visit section5.org/Muggs & More to see the many options and place your order today.
It's not snow, folks. It looks like it. Did you know rain can come in horizontally?
I think East and Canandaigua are finding that out right now.
So on 4th down, Oliver Harview. And McGee is deep back. Oh, boy. Maybe they just kicked this out of bounds. Let's see. As Harview, he's going to get off a wobbler that McGee will get on one bounce. Here we go. 7 McGee trying to get around the outside. They're trying to deliver a stiff arm. He's in trouble, and he will be spun down. Great open field tackle by Canandaigua.
Outstanding job by Canandaigua special teams. 7 is so dangerous. He backed up, tried to make a big play, but unfortunately that cost him.
Elliot Morgan, number 8, just not going to allow 7 McGee to stiff arm him. And then help was on the way for Canandaigua at the end of this return. Morgan not giving up.
That's outstanding.
So going into the wind. Now everybody's out of timeouts at this point. The handoff will go between the tackles. And finally the whistle will blow as going back to McGee.
Really, the only success that East has had running the ball inside was when they had Ross Simmons back there in that empty wing set. They haven't really gone back to that again.
So we're under a minute to go here on 2nd down and 7. Gilliam going into motion. McGee will get the handoff, and Camella fills that hole and drives him back.
The Canandaigua defensive line is just flat out dominating the game right now. They're going to have to find a way to get out the edges. That's been a big key of what they've done all season. It's interesting to see that East hasn't really gone to that, hasn't really gone to the jet sweeps. Tried throwing a bubble one time, really haven't gone back to that again. I think that's something they need to do to get Canandaigua to back off a little bit.
Well, this East may just kind of wind this down here. This very well may be our last play here before halftime. The snap and the handoff. And that'll be close to the first down marker. That'll only stop it momentarily. Nope, they're going to let the client time run out. Canandaigua coming up with big plays. Jackson Grant, long touchdown catch. Dominic Camella with 2 touchdowns in that first half. 20-7 is our score. Now coming up at halftime, we have the sectional semifinal plays of the week. If you love Section 5 football, let's take a look back at some of the top plays from last weekend. We will be back with you with about 3 minutes to go before the start of the third quarter. Once again, our score from the Canandaigua Academy here in the Class A championship game. The Braves leading the Eagles 20-7 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
He's killing that. 52 yards for the Cougars, touchdown. He's got room, folks. He's got 20, 30, 40 yards, 50 yards, 60 yards, 70-yard touchdown run by Logan Keeper.
blitz. Calarco, Justice Ross Simmons strips him. That's loose, and Ross Simmons is going to take this the other direction. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Fake it. Touchdown. Touchdown, ease. Justice Ross Simmons, 20-0.
But Baker up the middle. Baker, he's got one man to beat. He's going to do it. 15, 10, 5. It's a touchdown. Rashawn Baker. Here he goes. Straight into the secondary. He could go again. Nice cutback, and he's going to go. Another touchdown for Rashawn Baker. Baker, oh boy, this could be another one. All the way, Rashawn Baker. That one's going to be a 60-yard touchdown run. And like I said, he might get to 1,000 today, Jim Andre. His third touchdown on the day, Rashawn Baker.
It's not the play action. There it is. Going long. Man open. Touchdown. Touchdown, Canandaigua. That's number 7, Jackson Grant.
Nolan Smith.
Cameron Mesh under center, and he will hand it off. And those legs are moving. Connor Mesh to the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Bacon! Touchdown! Touchdown, Spencerport!
Out there, trying to push the Andrew towards that touchdown.
Breaks another tackle. Makes another move into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Back that again. Hands off to Wiseman. Cuts off through the middle of the field. He's the safety. It's now a foot race. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and he's in. Touchdown.
And it's blocked by number 24, Devin Dean. That will send the Alexander Trojans to next week's championship game against Avon.
Wow, what a play.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Rosin coach Greg Murphy. There's you.
What a move!
And the foul.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
The second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And B.J. Clark is gone for the touchdown.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
As we welcome you back to the Canandaigua Academy as we get ready for the second half. East trailing Canandaigua 20-7. Gene Battaglia along with Steve Leon. And Coach, if you are one of the two coaches, Steve Flagler, James Van, the co-head coaches at East, what adjustments are you making here coming up for the second half?
You know, they tried to get going inside. I think it worked pretty well when they had Ross Simmons, but once they put Ross Simmons wide, they had a tough go trying to run the ball downhill. They haven't really, there's a lot more in their arsenal. They have outside perimeter things, bubble screens, jet sweeps. They have not really gone to it. You know, you got to look for at this point to open up the offense a little bit. I know the wind is a factor, but you can't keep doing what you're doing, and you have to clean up those penalties.
That angle right there, and we want to give a special shout out to our outdoor camera guy, Ryan Boyce, tonight. It gives you an idea of the rain coming in sideways. This is the touchdown for East. That's Yasir Daniel finding space on the right side. And really that, on a team with so many playmakers, just credit the East defense for bottling up, or the Canandaigua defense for doing a great job here. As we take a look here at this would be the touchdown pass that will be coming up. Good play action, and it'll be Jackson Grant getting this one, 47 yards, and his second touchdown in as many games.
Very similar to what happened last week. Spencerport broke one long, right? Then Canandaigua was able to settle, adjust to that style of play, and then kind of bottle up Spencerport's offense. They're doing the same thing to East. East broke that first play, and ever since then, between the self-inflicted penalties from East and Canandaigua's defensive ends, Herbst and Dreisbach just dominating the football game. They've bottled them up pretty well.
As this would be then busting through on the right side for a second touchdown of the evening. Just a great job by Dominic Camella. Guys, I need a ruling on this. Is this actually changing over, this precipitation now? Hard to tell, but it's somewhere in between here. Kind of like a sleet coming down. It's just it's an unpleasant evening to be out, but you're a football coach. You're playing anything, right?
It's trying to give you that typical what it would be in the fall championship weekend weather that we get here in Rochester.
No doubt, and because we cannot be at a college campus, and the last time these two schools met, it was right on the campus of Hobart, right down the road from here. Well, unique opportunity where Canandaigua has an opportunity to win the sectional championship here on their home turf. Harview to let this one go, and McGee is deep back. But the wind is back, and Harview had two touchbacks. This one is going to be returned on the fly to the 20. 7 McGee trying to break tackles and just staying disciplined, and again, helping to lead the way. That's number 8, Elliot Morgan.
Since that first long run, you can really see Canandaigua, whether it's on coverage teams or on defense, they've really adjusted to the speed of East. They're wrapping up. They're getting back to their fundamentals, and that's been key for them.
Justice Ross Simmons will be the receiver to the top of your screen. Daniel is your running back. Cameron Sykes is out there as well. The handoff going and following his blockers on the left side. That'll be a short gain of 2 for Daniel.
They ran at Herbst again, and again, Herbst blew up the point of attack. And those defensive ends at Canandaigua are as impressive a pair as I've seen.
Nick Herbst, 62. Zach Dreisbach, 72. Second down and 8. Handoff going to Dan. Oh, no, it's McGee. McGee breaking a tackle. And again, Canandaigua just showing great discipline on the outside is ultimately, I can't believe it. It's going to be 62 at the bottom of that pile. Herbst again.
He was there again. He had him wrapped up. McGee did bounce off of him, but that was enough to slow him down. Then he got back up, got in on the play. I mean, he's just having a heck of a night.
Third down and 7. Opportunity for Canandaigua to get off the field. Throw, and that'll be caught. Justice Ross Simmons will be spun down, but not before he gets the first down. A gain of 9, first down east.
They have to do more of that. Ross Simmons needs touches. This half, championship game, they're down. They have to find different ways to get Justice Ross Simmons the football.
Band playing here at Canandaigua, trying to get the defense revved up here. At the 34, first down for East. The handoff going. Brady Camella coming through. Also there was the nose tackle Dan Coffey, number 70.
They're running bracket coverage over Ross Simmons, so they have a corner pressed up and a safety over the top, so they're trying to take him out of it. And right now, that's allowing every single defender at Canandaigua to tee off on the run.
McGee remains in at running back on second down and 9. McGee gets the handoff. McGee leaning forward. He's going to get it to the 40. The ball popped out at the end. They're going to say that was down immediately. And now it's third down. Receivers stacked to the near side. McGee is your running back here on third and short. Gilliam going into motion. And now everybody will pause. The handoff going to McGee. McGee gets bounced to the outside, and then the tackle is made. That'll be number 21 with the tackle, Dominic Camella.
Outstanding open field, right? That's what Canandaigua was known for. Great job. Ross Simmons moving now to the backfield.
Well, last time he had the quick kick. It could be an option here. McGee will line up in the slot. Are they going to go for it on fourth down? This is into the wind, so punting will be tough. It will be Ross Simmons to get this away. And that does take a little bit of an east roll down to the 34. Canandaigua going to work, and I think we've turned over to snow here. I cannot believe this, but I should not be surprised. We do live in Rochester. Yeah, temperatures dropping. I didn't realize snow would be in the forecast here tonight, Steve.
Always keeping us on our toes, Rochester weather.
Yeah, we just have to imagine it's mid-November here and
exactly
sectionals
right.
And yeah. Big opportunity for Canandaigua. Up by 2 scores. They get the ball back. They go back to their workhorse back, Dominic Camella, who will lean forward, and they will give him a gain of 9 on the play, up to the 43.
They love running behind that left side. That's been a steady diet for them this entire season. Great job on first down. Now you have second and short. Is this an opportunity to take a shot or just keep grounding and pounding on the ground?
Second down and short, the handoff. No, it'll be a keeper. Boldrin, all sorts of space. Big block on the far side. This one goes the distance, 57 yards. The run for quarterback Brian Boldrin.
It's tough to even know if that was a called run. It was a high snap. He had trouble handling it. There was a blitz off the edge, and the blitz didn't get home. Boldrin evaded it, and then he just took off down the sideline.
57 yards on that play and a big block. We'll see who picked up that key block on the left sideline. Now, the last snap was not good, so the kick could not come off. And so it'll be Canandaigua going for 2, trying to make up that point. Camella is in the backfield. The snap. Boldrin's going to roll to his right. He's under pressure, and that'll be Sykes coming up to make the stop. So another conversion attempt for Canandaigua goes by the boards, but not before another touchdown goes on the board. 26-7. Boldrin taking off and showing some wheels here.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted to run inside zone to the left. I don't know if it was, or to the right. I don't know if it was supposed to be zone read, but obviously it ended up being that way, and Boldrin made the most of it.
That was Jackson Grant, the wide receiver, with that big block on the left sideline.
Again, this feels very reminiscent of the semifinal game last week. Canandaigua had that early struggles, right, feeling things out, and man, have they settled in.
Yeah, the score eerily similar. The final in that game ended up being 29-10. The kick, and this will be McGee watching this go through the back of the end zone. How about that? The third touchback of the game for Oliver Harview. And now for East, this game is still within reach here. If you can get a score now and then get the wind in the fourth quarter, Steve, but the first order of business, you got to make something happen here.
They have to get Justice Ross Simmons the football. I think it's tough right now when you have him split wide. They were able to complete a pass to him earlier, but again, with this wind, you're limited in options that way. I think they need to try to get him into the backfield or maybe into the slot to try to throw bubble to, but bracketed out wide, it's difficult.
The snap, it'll be McGee getting the call, and he's trying to find his way on the left side, and will be taken down. So 7 McGee will give him 4 yards on that. Zach Dreisbach with the tackle. Here in the snow, and you can start to see it come across your screen. The inside handoff going to McGee. Dom Camella standing him up, and this brings up third down.
I mean, this might be an opportunity to put Ross Simmons back in the backfield, direct snap, run inside. They were getting big chunk yards when they were doing that. They kind of have gone away from it, though.
So call it 3rd down and 2. As we're nearing the midway point here of the third quarter. Levi Wright, your quarterback. As Diaz goes into motion, and it's going to be a throw. On the run, it's going to be caught on the far side. Good enough for the first down, and then spinning into Canandaigua territory. That's going to be Gilliam, number 6. And that is a much-needed first down for the Eagles.
Those are the kind of things they need to do. They need to threaten the perimeter. You've seen them be able to do it. They haven't used that much tonight, and now they're going to it a little bit. I expect to see more of that.
TJ Gilliam going for a gain of 22 on that play. Snap, and it's on the turf, and falling on it will be Wright. And again, it was raining, now it's snowing, and you got to take care of that football.
It almost looked like it was a miscommunication. I don't know if Seven knew he was supposed to get that football. Wright kind of held it out there, but Seven was blasting into the line. I think maybe he thought it was supposed to be a play action.
McGee will be the tailback once again. 2nd down and 12. 4 wide receivers. Gilliam goes into motion. And it'll be a pass, and that will be caught by Ross Simmons. Just as Ross Simmons then driven back. They'll mark his forward progress to the Canandaigua 46. This will bring up 3rd and 6.
And this is exactly what East needs to do. Now they're being multiple. Now you're getting guys on the edge. You're getting guys in space. You're having Ross Simmons down the field. Now you're forcing Canandaigua to back off a little bit.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Diaz going into motion. The snap, right. He's going to throw again, and that will be caught again. So it looks like East has found something. That'll be Gilliam for the first down to the 39, a gain of 7.
And this is the way you the strength of Canandaigua all night has been their defensive ends, their defensive line play. Now you're forcing them to run a little bit, right? If you get those defensive linemen, instead of just teeing off downhill, you get them to run side to side. You've caused them to think, you cause them to slow down, and this allows you to open up your playbook if you're East.
They mark it at the 38. East with their best drive since their opening score. Here will be the handoff, and it's going to go left side, and this will be Asir Daniel, and Daniel will get it down inside the 30 and mark him down at about the 26, and that will give him the first down, a gain of 10.
Like you said, this has been the best drive East has put together. No penalties. They've been able to move the ball consistently. They've mixed it up with the run and the pass. Let's see if they can take that all the way into the end zone.
McGee is in the backfield. Clock at 3:45 remaining here in the 3rd. Has now a rollout to the right. Running out of time, then hit as he threw. He got clocked at the end of that play. Coming off the edge, that was Bennett, number 2.
Herbst was also in on the chase with those defensive ends. You know, he had time, but at some point you got to make a decision to go.
Yeah, Earps and coming over the top there. Yeah, and you said, like Ross Simmons, you could have had maybe 5 on that play had you gotten out to him. Pass is incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Out of trips, they love 4 verticals out of this look.
Snap is low, and Wright improvising. And again, not much there, as that's going to be Bennett again with the tackle. 3rd down and 10.
And this, unfortunately, has been kind of East's MO since that opening series. They've moved the ball well, and then whether it's penalties or snaps like that, self-inflicted wounds have kind of slowed them down.
It's really coming down here. At some point, the accumulation's going to happen on the field here, you would think.
It looks like a November sectional final.
Oh, it is wild. 3rd down and 10. Screen to Diaz. Blocking is there. Diaz trying to find his way, and he's knocked out of bounds, well short of the marker. Now, they're going into the win. I doubt you would go to French here. This brings up 4th and 6.
You know, this is where that sprint out has been good for him. Be a run-pass threat. You can get to the edge. If you can break somebody free and throw it to him, you can, but otherwise tuck and run. That last time they did it, he just held onto the ball too long, but if he really presses the edge and is a threat, that could be good for them.
Huge play here for the Canandaigua defense on 4th down. Wright throwing, trying to come down with it with one hand, but it's out of bounds. Incomplete as Justice Ross Simmons, the intended receiver. A drive where East moved the football, but in the end, Canandaigua holds.
And it was that bad snap on 3rd down that kind of slowed them up. I mean, those kind of drive killers in a game like this, you cannot give that Canandaigua defense plays like that.
So Canandaigua, this might be the last time they get the wind at their backs to begin a drive here. As the fans here having fun in the snow, and it's loose on the turf, but then Boldrin will have to fall on it. Kendall Robinson was in the neighborhood there for East. Call that a loss of 4. Snap and the handoff going back to Camella. And Camella finally will be driven back. And again, Naeem Folks, 55, is having a great night, finishing the tackler.
He's been a dominant player for them all season long. He's continued tonight. Right now you got that 3rd and long. It's tough field position. Are you going to play it conservative and just try to punt and flip the field, or are you going to try to hit maybe a screen or take a shot?
Boldrin with the wind at his back. He's going to roll to his right. He's under pressure. Now he's going to decide to keep it and run. He gets driven out of bounds as Anthony Diaz comes up to make the tackle, and that stops the clock with 1:28 remaining. So East defense does the trick.
That was a great decision by Boldrin, though. You're going to keep it. You're rolling out. You know that you're in a situation where you don't want to give East anything crazy. Just tuck it, whether it's a loss or a stop. Doesn't matter. It's all going to amount to the same thing, and now you have an opportunity to punt it with the wind at your back and try to flip this field.
Harvey to punt. Gilliam to return. Oliver Harvey gets up a high kick to Gilliam. It's going to go over his head. He's got to get that. And now he'll pick it up at the 25. Gilliam then gets whacked on the far side. That's flipping the field position for Canandaigua.
Could not have worked out any better. Incredible coverage teams. Booted that thing, went over his head, made the decision to field it, and everybody swarmed.
Take a look at the matchup here. Is again, Canandaigua undefeated on the season. They didn't cross paths with East. They didn't cross paths with Irondequoit in the short season. But as you and I were talking about, Class A, it's a gauntlet. There's just so much talent in Class A.
Between the talent and the number of teams, it is just a bear to get through Class A. If you can make it to this game, hats off.
1st and 10 at the 26 going into the wind, as they're going to go back to Yasir Daniel with the carry.
They ran zone to the right. They left Herbst unblocked. Herbst did an awesome job of just sitting, staying square, and once that ball was handed off, knifing down the line of scrimmage and making that tackle.
Yeah, it looks like East, they're going to eat time here. Maybe just to get the wind at their back here, even though they are down by 3 scores. As it'll be the design keeper, Levi Wright, maybe not by design, but he'll take it himself up to about the 30 to bring up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, it looks like something's funny going on with the mesh. I don't know if it's a miscommunication between the running back and the quarterback, but it doesn't look like it's timing up as well as they'd like it to.
Well, Canandaigua is going to wisely call the timeout, because if East doesn't pick this up, they're going to make sure that East punts it into the wind. We'll take a short break. We're in the Class A championship game. Canandaigua up 26-7 over East on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
Coming into Lattimore.
They'll reset the clock to 20.4 seconds. So Canandaigua using their first timeout. Whistle. What do we have? So 3rd and 6 from the 30. Play blown dead prior to the snap, and it looks like it's going to be A call that's going to go against East. Maybe not. Maybe it's a clock issue. They put 24 seconds up now. So no penalty on the play. Seven McGee will be your running back. 3rd down and 6. East needs to pick this one up as here's the snap. Right throws, has a man open. That's going to be Gilliam once again, finding that soft spot in the middle of that secondary as he gets it into Canandaigua territory. Big first down there for the East Eagles.
That's where East saw that they've been playing that bracket coverage over Ross Simmons. Ross Simmons ran a vertical up the sideline. The safety in the middle of the field flew over top to double him, and that left the middle wide open to get that completion.
Well, for Canandaigua, this game is not over. In a night where we have some really severe elements here, the field will now be flipped. East gets the wind at their back to go to the 4th quarter. Canandaigua now just 12 minutes away from a sectional championship. We head to the 4th. The Braves up 26-7 on the Eagles here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy.
He's got he's in.
Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We begin the 4th quarter as we switch sides. 1st and 10 for the Eagles as Canandaigua up 26-7. Here will be the screen going far side to Justice Ross Simmons, but that's just some great tackling and zeroing in. And it's just not one Canandaigua player, but my gosh, Nick Herbst over there helping lead the charge.
He's incredible. I mean, he is a flat-out incredible football player.
Gain of 1 on the play. So a 19-point game. East cannot afford to take a lot of time here. Down by 3 scores as 2nd down and 9, the down and distance. Right, another busted play as he is going to improvise and lean forward and still going forward as he was expecting. I think Daniel to be at one side, was at the other, and Coach, those are plays that can't happen here.
It's so difficult. You try to get a little momentum, and that's been the story all night. For some reason, the backfield has not been in concert with each other. There have been a lot of plays where it just seems the timing's off. Guys are going in the wrong direction and misunderstanding where they're supposed to go.
In the snow, this will be 3rd down and 6. Gilliam going into motion. It's on the carpet, picked back up. The throw, and it goes in and out of the hands as Justice Ross Simmons was the intended receiver. 4th down coming up.
It looked like they were trying to fake that jet sweep to try to pull the edge defenders out and then run Ross Simmons back underneath them on the shallow to get them open. Unfortunately, again, they've had trouble handling the snap all night.
So in a 19-point game, East is facing a 4th and 6 at the Canandaigua 44. They must go for this. Four wide receivers. As Levi Wright has Diaz going into motion.
And it looked like the left guard moved early.
Yep, as it will be marked back 5 yards. Do you play the field position game here, Coach? Do you punt it away knowing that you got the wind at your back?
I mean, I think here, at this point in the game, if you're East and you have the guys you have, you take a shot and try to convert this.
One of those guys, 7 McGee, you see him, is going to be in the backfield, looking for the call coming in. Well, the play clock is not going to get off in time. 2-1, and East is going to have to use a timeout.
It seems like they've had a lot of communication issues tonight, and then that's kind of causing them to slow it up. Again, there's always somebody that's not quite on the same page as everybody else.
With the timeout, we will step aside and take a look here at the brackets here, how they all kind of worked out. Again, it's all going to culminate tomorrow night with the big one. Victor McQuaid. Somehow they didn't play each other in the regular season either, and that's going to be the first time that we will have a championship game from McQuaid Jesuit.
They've been on a collision course all season. They've dominated everybody they've played, and I can't wait to see it. McQuaid has a tremendous defense, and Victor with Rashawn Baker, I can't wait to see that matchup.
Rashawn Baker, 303 yards in the first half.
Bucknell is getting a steal. I don't know how that guy is not at some Big Ten school. He looks to me like one of those old school classic slobber knocker Big Ten tailbacks.
Pretty good education you get at Bucknell. Here's 4th and 11. Empty set is right. Throws. That's going to be caught. It's going to be short of the marker. Sam Bedden and Dominic Camella with the tackle. And we have 2 injured East players behind the play. Oh, no, that's going to be Wright, the quarterback, along with Sebastian Seawright, number 50A.
It looked like Dreisbach was coming hard off the edge, and Seawright was trying to block him and got tangled up somehow.
Well, Seawright is able to get up here. Number 58 will kind of walk off. Official from Section 5. See, that's coming prepared, I got to say.
Scott Barker's been around the block. He was ready for this.
I'm glad you could recognize him underneath all that gear.
He was my high school football coach my senior year. He came in. That was his first year in Pittsburgh,
Wow.
so I've known Scott for a very long time.
Levi Wright is able to get to his feet, and unfortunately he's not putting any pressure on the one ankle.
That's such a tough blow for East. I mean, though they do run multiple people at the quarterback position, that's mostly just to run. And without their passing quarterback in, that is going to be difficult to make up this deficit.
Yeah, for a senior, and you think of all the seniors here. What you could say in a year like this, there aren't any losers here. Everybody certainly, just the idea that we're having football, but for Levi Wright, you hope that's not how it ends for him. As now here will be the handoff, and that's going to be Camella running hard. McGee lowering his shoulder to slow him up, but not before he gets into East territory to the 49.
Yeah, this is exactly the position Canandaigua wants to be in. They have the lead. They have a dominant run game. They're going to take time on the clock, and they're just going to ground and pound this thing down.
Canandaigua going into the win for the first time since the first quarter. And Boldrin just has his hands in the, the hand warmer there, just kind of hanging out. Calmly waiting for the play to come in is now everybody moseys up to the line here. The play clock down to 7. Boldrin will take the snap, going back to Camella. Little stutter step, and there he goes. Breaks a tackle. Dominic Camella, 20, 15, and he's going to be caught from behind. Dominic Camella with the run, as that was Marcus Robertson with the tackle from
So
him.
impressive. They run zone to the right, and you just see Camella's vision. They get that wash. East over, commits to the right side. He sees that cutback, and he's patient, and then just gone.
Big run there. He's got 2 touchdowns tonight. Yeah, fans here at Canandaigua sensing what could be the knockout punch here, as they have it 1st and 10 from the 11. You could get a first down by getting it down to the 1. Camella, though, getting left side, trying to get to the corner, and he will slide out of bounds. Didn't like what was ahead of him. And again, that being active back there is number 5, Marcus Robertson, with the tackle.
Again, so impressive. It looked like they wanted to run to the right. The fullback kind of inserted to the right side A-gap, but Camella just has such vision and then acceleration to be able to take advantage of anything that he sees.
Snow beginning to maybe lighten up a little bit here. As, again, Dom Camella with Brady, the fullback, blocking for him, Brady Camella. The handoff to Dom Camella. Dom Camella, it will be wrapped up. McGee came over to slow him down. And again, that's Robertson, number 5 at the bottom of that pile. Good job of the defensive line to set everything on the edge.
And if you're Canandaigua, there's no panic. You got stopped for a loss, but you're fine. You're in scoring position. Take your time. Take as much time off the clock. You know that you're either going to punch this in or have great field position against East. So it's just nothing but positive things right now for Canandaigua.
So it'll be 3rd down and 5 from the 6. And by the time this is snapped, this will bring us under 7 minutes to go here tonight. Camella in the backfield. Dominic Camella. No, it would be Boulder and pulling it down. Rolling right, throwing. Is he in? Yes, that's a touchdown. Touchdown, the tight end, number 4. Getting it there, Eric Platten. And Canandaigua. It's getting close, 32-7. Closer to a championship for the Braves.
You can tell the fans that were able to be here and brave this weather are feeling it.
Yes, they do say that Platten broke the plane, and for Boldrin, that'll be his 2nd touchdown pass tonight as Harview on for the PAT into the wind, and that's going to be blocked. And the play will be dead. So 32-7 is our score. As we'll take a look at the touchdown, Boldrin to Platten.
You could see that DB for East. He thought he had that pick coming right at him, and then tight end drag right across. Great play. Now the status of Wright for East is going to be big. Is he able to come back out and try to give it a go? If not, East becomes very one-dimensional.
Yeah, you would think they're going to just you got to just throw and take big chances now. Let it all hang out here if you're East. Just like the last game, Canandaigua allowing a quick score, and then after that, their defense just so smart and tough.
Looks to be a player down over on the east sideline, and the officials are going to hold things up a little bit to make sure he gets the attention that he needs.
Okay. There's the Canandaigua band with the drum beat rolling on here. Crazy part about this is for a lot of these kids, like say Bennett for example, what lacrosse practice that does he have? Does he required to go tomorrow? How does that all work? You go from the sectional championship one night, now you got to get back to practice in the next sport. I know Diaz from East, he's part of the spring track. A lot of the kids. It's great to have players with multiple sports, as that's going to be the freshman, number 28, Cameron Higgins, with the return for East. Liam Regan, number 30, with the tackle for Canandaigua. So who will be the quarterback?
I'd expect them to put Ross Simmons back there. Looks like that's where he's setting up.
So they did have some success with Ross Simmons running the ball out of the quarterback position.
He's been the guy for them all year long. Even in that loss to Athena, he's been the one that's consistently making plays for him. So in a game like this, in a situation like this, you just got to put it in his hands and hope for the best.
Quantrell Green also out there. So it'll be an empty set here. Spreading things out as Justice Ross Simmons out of the shotgun, with McGee going into motion, faking the handoff to McGee, and Ross Simmons will move that pile ahead, and he will have enough for the first down. Gets it up to the 41 for a gain of 11.
I'm surprised it's taken them so long to get back to this set. I mean, this is exactly how it moved earlier in the game when they used it, and they just really kind of never went back to it.
Five wide again for Ross Simmons, and he's going to send McGee into motion, and faking the handoff to McGee. And then Ross Simmons getting belted, no gain.
It's so tough. I mean, as dynamic as he is, when you don't have the threat of the pass and you have a run defense as stout as Canandaigua's, you're just letting them tee off on you at this point.
Second down and 9, we'll call it. Here will be the throw, and this is going to go long, and that's just going to be in and out of the hands, and Green nearly got it off the deflection. So the quarterback there was Kenneth Edwards, number 11, and ball was a little underthrown, but nearly that pinballed east direction. It's incomplete.
You're almost in a situation here where just taking some shots a couple times in a row might be the best option. This one didn't work out, but off the deflection, like you said, just shoot it downfield to those athletes and hope that somebody can come up with it.
Four wide. So again, Kenneth Edwards at quarterback. Edwards takes the snap. He's looking left. Now he looks back to the right for Justice Ross Simmons. It's going to be underthrown. And with the interception, it's Elliott Morgan. Elliott Morgan to the 40, to the 45, and with 5:19 remaining, boy, it is getting closer and closer for Canandaigua. They can sense a sectional championship as they take it over here on offense.
You can see it in the body language of Canandaigua. They know how close they are right now, and they're ready to go take it.
I liked Edwards, showing poise back there. It's just, I would imagine it's got to be tough, though, you got the wind, you
haven't thrown a pass all game. I mean, it's a difficult situation. Credit to him for going in to do that, but, that's almost an impossible situation for a kid.
And we're going to have a timeout called by East. We'll take a break here. Canandaigua leading 32-7 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
There's the guy who just had the interception. Elliot Morgan. All smiles there.
Steady dose of Camella coming right up.
No doubt, as Boldrin indeed will hand off to Dom Camella, who will get it up to about the 47 for a gain of 4.
It's fun to watch Coach Welts and really see how he's kind of mixing things up. Last week was a steady dose of counter, that gap scheme run game, and they tried to go to that earlier in the game and to let guys like Folks, who are unblocked, wreak havoc in the backfield. Since then, they've gone to a steady diet of inside zone, bodying everybody up, really just trying to get a wash and allowing a guy with the vision of Camella to just pick his spots and find seams and get positive yardage.
And they will use every second possible here. The play clock now down to 10. You can see the game clock, 4:34 remaining. On 2nd down and 6. Dom Camella again. Dom Camella trying to get around that left corner. And he will get the first down, and he will sit down to keep the clock running. What a heady play by Dom Camella. They stopped the clock momentarily only to move the sticks.
That's something that's always impressed me about the Canandaigua football players. Not only are they disciplined, well coached, great in the weight room, strong, but their football IQ is off the charts. To recognize that situation right there and get down, hats off to a guy like Camella.
This will keep the clock moving. Now, East does have timeouts remaining, but now the reality setting in. This is not going to go East's way tonight.
You know, it's tough. You can tell by their body language, it's not the way East wanted things to go, but God, what an incredible run they've had. Playing dominant football all season.
Yeah, after the opening losses, it'll be Boldrin. For East, it was a loss to Athena, but then wins over Eastridge, Penfield, Thomas, Odyssey, Olympia, and then a game against your team, Brighton, that got called off because of the COVID world we live in.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, and so you imagine you're East, like, are we in, are we not? You didn't know, and they got in and then played, I don't think I'm exaggerating, one of the best games in years for the program, 26-0, that win over Rondequoit. Just a great game for the East program.
Those coaches have it going at East. They're doing great things, and if you take a look at it, you can still have Ross Simmons back. I mean, that's
on 2nd down and 9, and the handoff going inside, and now this brings us down to 2:50 remaining. So Seawright with the tackle. Remember, he was shaken up on the last play, on the same play that also Levi Wright got shaken up on. It was good to see Seawright back out there.
And I think it's notable, and I hope everybody realizes, this whole year has been really difficult for coaches with the uncertainty of everything and not necessarily being able to see your kids all the time. To be able to pull things together and get this spring season going has been quite a heavy lift.
As Camella will get it, and he will get the first down. I don't know if we can go to victory formation just yet, but that is pretty much going to do it here tonight. Yeah, Coach, every coach, every administrator, every parent, communication, it really was a year where we all kind of learned to adapt.
Yeah, and again, I really want to give credit to Coach Van and Coach Flagler from East. With the RCSD having been full remote for most of the school year, they weren't even seeing their kids most of the time. And for them to really be able to hold the program together through all that, what a tremendous job of leadership by them.
There it is, as the Canandaigua fans here are giving their team a standing ovation, because, yes, it is time for the kneel downs, as the Canandaigua Braves now can celebrate. They've dominated all season long.
This was theirs to take, and then they did it right every step of the way. Hats off to them. What a tremendous job by Canandaigua.
So we might do this just one more time.
Even though they can't be here at the stadium, you know the city of Canandaigua was ready to celebrate this thing.
I can sense how many restaurants we're on in right now, or cars, honking their horns.
This town loves football. They're going to find a way to celebrate this one.
Another kneel down. And depending, will they set it again? Nope, they're going to make them kneel it down again. All right, so one more kneel down. Seven McGee had to hustle back there as they kneel it down. And the Canandaigua Braves are the champions of Class A, finishing off an undefeated season, winning here tonight in convincing fashion. 32-7, the final over East.
Great job by Canandaigua, but I want to say again how fortunate we were to have this season. This is the culmination of the efforts by a lot of people, officials included, to be able to come out and offer their services. Everyone involved in Section 5 football, this is a celebration of them to be able to have this night.
It is well said, Coach, and for those kids at East, be proud for the job that you did, and for everybody here in Section 5, as we've got a whole weekend of action ahead here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Tomorrow, some of the games you can log on to. You'll be able to see the 8-man championship. We will also have the championships coming up. That will be in Class D. We're excited to bring you that tomorrow as well. And the Class B championship, the AA championship being the big one tomorrow night between McQuaid and Victor. Steve, it was a pleasure here. And hopefully, we'll be calling some sectional games for Brighton next year, too.
Yeah, that'd be great. This was a blast. I appreciate you guys inviting me to do this. It's interesting to see how the sausage is made a little bit on this side, but, man, what a fun time.
Well, we want to thank everybody. Let's give some shout-outs to our camera guys in the snow tonight. Chris Van Kampen, our main camera. Ryan Boyce down on the field tonight. Ryan, great job there. Our director, Joel Balthaser, making it all happen as they will do the awards presentation down on the field.
Jason Benham.
I know. Well, we can come cheer.
Our first award for this evening, the MVP goes to number 21. At this time, we would like to call the East High Eagles captains and coaching staff forward to be recognized. They will be presented with the finalist plaques and silver medals. Ladies and gentlemen, please, with a warm round of applause on a great season to the East High Eagles. And now for your 2021 Section 5 champions, your Canandaigua Braves. Forward to receive the Section 5 championship.
I will.
Celebrate, Canandaigua. You earned it. The champions of Class A, Canandaigua, once again sitting on top. For our director, Joel Balthaser, for my partner tonight, Stephen Liam, my name is Gene Battaglia. We are so glad you logged on and watched tonight the Class A championship game. Once again, congratulations to Canandaigua, the champions. 32-7, the win over East. This has been a production of the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
Coming into Lattimore on a daily basis is the highlight of my day. You know, we'll have patients coming in. As soon as they hit the physical therapist, we introduce ourselves and, you know, we bring them back, and you see a whole bunch of patients who are in pain, laughing and smiling and having a great time. And almost for that 1 hour that they're with us in PT, they're forgetting about all their problems. When you're lost with pain, reducing your quality of life, and then somebody there says, I can help you, there's no better feeling than that.